the city of restriction had an aura of despair, an oppressive weight that thrummed in the air. The endless night enveloped it, casting everything in monochromatic shades of gray and deep black. Stretching for miles, the city was a vast labyrinth of towering skyscrapers that seemed to pierce the void above, their carbon-black facades standing in stark contrast to the remnants of past life scattered throughout the landscapes. The streets below were vast and empty, marred by the ruins of civilizations long lost. Abandoned vehicles cluttered the roads, rusted and worn from decades of neglect. The echoes of their journeys haunted the spaces around them, whispering tales of lives once lived, each car a silent testament to hasty departures or enforced evacuations. Often there were remnants of military convoys, vehicles with bullet holes and scorch marks that spoke of forgotten conflicts, battles fought in the shadows of this cursed metropolis. Every district within the city manifested a different aspect of this forsaken existence. District 1, shrouded in mist and fog, served as an introduction, a foreboding entryway into the ominous reality that lay beyond the towering black walls. Here, an eerie stillness pervaded the air, punctuated only by the quiet rustling of the wind through shattered windows and doorways. It was here, after all, that the lone maiden had first stepped into the labyrinth of despair, disoriented, with no memory of who she was or how she had arrived. District 2 felt like a transition, a space where the city's grim atmosphere thickened, where winter crept in uninvited. Here, an unending snowfall coated the ground, creating a silent blanket that muffled the echoes of the past. The streets were adorned with the remnants of military endeavors, and the snow-covered vehicles stood like forgotten sentinels, a grim reminder of a forgotten struggle. But it was not just the weather that unnerved the maiden. It was the pervasive feeling of being watched, the palpable aura of dread that lingered like a specter. Upon entering District 3, the maiden's senses heightened as she was greeted by a landscape both familiar and unsettling. The cold permeated deeper, snow flurries mixed with an unnatural warmth that left her shivering on the threshold. The streets here wound through residential areas, where the warp of time seemed to create an unsettling dissonance. Abandoned schoolyards, parks frozen in time, and homes shuttered against the darkness. And yet, each turned corner felt metaphysical, as if this district held forgotten memories too painful to remember. The city itself felt sentient, as if the very bricks of its walls were alive, watching, breathing, a being that thrived on fear and isolation. It whispered in hushed tones, projecting the thoughts of lost souls who wandered its streets, trapped in a purgatorial existence. "Beware of the inhabitants," the ghostly voices wailed, a warning etched into the fabric of the city. Invisible cords tethered the lost and the lonely to their bleak reality. Interesting and grotesque motifs emerged in her surroundings. The once vibrant murals peeling from the walls depicted a beautiful civilization in stark contrast to the city that surrounded her now. The logs of life had faded to obscurity, leaving behind only hints of joy, captured in isolated instances drawn to life on the crumbling facades. It was in this city of darkness that hope thrived tenuously, a fragile flower seeking the light. As the lone maiden inherited the burden of her own past, she felt the weight of this place pressing against her shoulders, heavy and relentless. And yet there was a spark within her, a flickering ember of defiance that sought not just to survive, but to reclaim the light that had long been extinguished. Drawn onward toward the Redwood Hotel, the maiden's resolve crystallized with each step she took. She was faced with the terrible reality that the inhabitants of the city of restriction, the lost, the hollow echoes, and the sinister shadows, were not merely entities to be feared, but manifestations of the pain this city had endured. The city of restriction was not merely a backdrop. It was a character in its own right, demanding to be understood. With its secrets hidden in the darkness of its streets and the shadows that lingered in every corner, it was a place she needed to unravel, a riddle wrapped in despair, where the haunting echoes of the past awaited her discovery. And the looming question remained in her heart. Could she, the lone maiden, breach the void and bring forth the light once more, freeing the city from its eternal night?